UFC 253, Adesanya versus Costa. We saw the fight over in 2 rounds, but that's not what everyone's talking about. Everyone is talking about the right boob of Israel Adesanya. You have doctors, you have bodybuilders, they're all giving their take, whether it's some sort of an injury, is it an infection, is it possible steroid abuse? Here's my take. I don't really know, to be honest with you, okay? And you have a lot of experts out there online blasting him or trying to defend him. But the reality is it could be a number of different things, whether it's associated with weed, whether it's associated with repeated trauma to the chest, whether it's associated with steroids. It could be a lot of different things, okay? But this is definitely a red flag. But Israel had a chance to defend himself. Israel had a chance to clear the air, and he did not do it. And this is my biggest concern. In my opinion, this is the biggest red flag. When he was asked about it during the post-fight conference, he kind of tried to play it off.
Why are they looking at my titties?
You'd have to ask them.
Yeah.
And that to me is a red signal, right? Because why don't you just address it? If it was an infection, if it was an injury, right, you could absolutely address it and be like, hey, this is a health concern. I went to a doctor. We're getting it taken care of. Not a big deal. He didn't do that. He totally danced around the question. And not only that, he tried to make the interviewer and everyone kind of seem, uncomfortable with this. He basically said, why are they looking at my titty? Like, why are they doing that? And totally just danced around the question, which to me is a big red flag. As soon as I saw that, I'm going, there's something going on here. There's something very, very dirty in a sense, because he is hiding something for sure. Even though he's a fighter, he's a dancer, he's an artist inside the cage. Outside the cage is normal human beings, and when human beings tell a lie when they are uncomfortable, you can tell. It doesn't take a body language expert or a communication expert to say that this dude is definitely hiding something, that this dude is definitely lying. And he had a chance to clear the air. He didn't do it. He tried to sweep it under the rug and just dismiss it as like, why are they talking about my titty? And then let's move on. Well, we're talking about it because it's right there. It's obvious, man. Your boob is hanging off your chest. It's a problem, dude. You haven't had this before. And one possible reason why this could have happened is steroids. And you're not a guy that's just at LA Fitness working out in the gym. You're a professional fighter. You're out there accusing the other guy of doing steroids, and you may be on steroids. So this is a big problem. So the fact that he did not want to address it, that he just danced around it, I'm very suspicious about that. And I'm not accusing him of steroids, but he needs to clear the air. I mean, that was a terrible answer. And this reminds me of another situation with Daniel Cormier. Everyone loves Daniel Cormier, but he did one of the dirtiest things you can do in MMA, try to cheat in weight cutting. We all remember he was, I think, 1.2 pounds over in his title fight against Rumble Johnson. He looked like he was about to die because he cut so much weight. And what did he do? He went backstage. He disappeared for about 2 minutes. He came back. He was holding the towel. He made weight. A miracle.
How did that happen? Unbelievable.
When he was asked about it by reporters, he quickly dismissed it.
It's really a non-issue. I think people just need stuff to talk about.
He did the same thing that Israel Adesanya done. He just said, well, I just don't want people to see my pee-pee. Turned around. He was angry. He wanted the reporter to know that he was not happy with the question.
No, man, you hold the towel.
To not see my junk?
You hold the towel.
That's your belief, not mine.
Okay, that's what they mean.
And they kind of moved on from there, right? Because they didn't want to make the guy uncomfortable. That's exactly what Israel Adesanya did. He made the reporter uncomfortable. He tried to sweep it under the rug and hope nobody notices it. But here's the bottom line. Daniel Cormier's legacy will be impacted by that weight cut because he cheated on that weight cut. Simple enough. You can try to make him look like he's a great family guy, and I'm sure he is. He is one of the best fighters of all time. But the fact is, that was one of the dirtiest moves in the history of MMA. He can talk about John Jones all he wants, but that right there was straight up cheating. He did it in front of everybody. He tried to quickly brush it. He tried to quickly sweep it under the rug. And I feel like this is kind of what Israel is doing. Again, we don't know why. It could be something else. It could be, due to an infection. I don't know. Maybe he tried to get his nipple pierced. It got an infection. He doesn't want to talk about it because he's embarrassed. I totally understand that. But he needs to have a better answer than, why are they looking at my titty? He needs to say, hey, listen, this is an infection or this is something medical related. I went to my doctor. We're all clearing the air. But the fact that he tried to hide it is a big problem. That to me is the biggest red flag. Okay, so if he ever tests positive for performance enhancing drugs, we're gonna look back at this moment and go, wait a minute, this was a clear indication that he was on steroids. Was he on steroids his entire career? I don't think he wants that. I don't think he wants that in his reputation. So he needs to clear the air, and he should not get upset at why people are asking that question, because everyone was asking that question. Ben Askren was asking that question. Ariel Helwani was asking that question. I'm asking that question. Everyone's talking about it. He needs to address this.